Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here. We are joined by Rachel Balansat, and we're going to be talking about weight loss or weight gain, whichever is needed. And Rachel Balansat is a Ayurvedic practitioner. She's a regenerative health practitioner, as well as a clinical iridologist. And we're going to let her take it away. She is amazing and super knowledgeable, and so thankful for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. And you're a doll who's like gone through the 90-day transformation. Hearing your story of recovering from MS is such an inspiration. And I thank you for being here today. And I thank you for also being a health coach on the team, helping many people. And there's several health coaches here today. So we'll have a chance to hear from a lot of people. It's going to be pretty exciting. And let's see. I guess I'll just start off by saying weight loss and weight gain. This is an interesting topic because very few people realize that weight loss and weight gain are actually caused by the same problem, by the same issue. And when I say weight loss, I'm talking about like people who are underweight. I should make that very clear. I'm talking about when people are underweight and there's like a problem or they're feeling like emaciated, like I can't gain weight. And then there's some people who like try to lose weight and no matter what they do, they cannot lose weight. They cannot beat those cravings. They cannot, or they no matter what they eat, they just cannot seem to figure out how to lose it. These are all the same, two sides of the same coin, and they are caused by the same thing. So that's why we group them together today. For the first time ever, I'm doing a call on the issues of weight imbalance, I guess we could call it, where you might be struggling with excess weight or you might be struggling with being underweight, and that this call is actually going to address both because it's the same causing condition, which has to do with the liver, which has to do with sluggishness of the liver, which has to do with uh, pathogens accumulating and certain foods, toxic foods, causing the problem. And some people will think like, oh, well, I have hormonal weight, or I'm inflamed, I have inflammatory weight. So there's all these different ways that people kind of categorize their weight, whether it's, I'm swelling with water, or my hormones are off because I'm in perimenopause, or or I can't beat these cravings. Why do I have such strong cravings? I can't beat my cravings. What is it about this? Why can I not conquer this problem? And then underweight people struggle because they're kind of marginalized as well, because they're just like, well, no one understands that I'm actually having the opposite problem. And it's even harder for people who have struggled with underweight issues to figure out how to resolve that problem. They struggle with self-esteem and, body shaming, as well as people who are on the other side of it. So there's a lot of similarities actually between people who struggle with not being able to gain weight and people who struggle with not being able to lose weight. And so I have compassion on both sides. Very, very, very few people actually are satisfied with their weight. Can we agree on that? Like, even if you like, everyone else thinks you are like, you've got it nailed. Like most people have struggled with body dysmorphia and there's like all these different standards in the world, like I should have a big booty. I should have a small booty. I should have, big boobs. I should have smaller boobs. Like, my belly, my butt, my face, my arms, there's just like so much internalized oppression around the image of body, of like how our body should look. And so I want to normalize that we're all so freaking different. Okay. And that even a healthy weight is going to look different across the board. Some people are meant to be thicker and some people are meant to be thinner. And like there is like a huge range of what bodies can look like and still be healthy. So this is a very personal call for you, according to what you feel is healthy for yourself. If you feel like you're struggling with excess weight, that you feel like, like something's off and I don't feel good, and I'm also struggling with like maybe adrenal fatigue or exhaustion. Maybe I just don't have the same energy. Maybe I struggle with depression. Maybe there's all these other things that coincide that you're like, I know that this has also paralleled my weight journey, that there's other things that I'm struggling with that have also influenced how I feel in my body, with my body. Okay. And as an Ayurvedic practitioner, there are different types of bodies that we talk about. And so there's like Pitta, Kapha, Vata styles of bodies that are have, you know, different thicknesses to our tissue. You know, people who are Kapha have denser tissue. Kapha means earth. And so they'll tend to have, like, you can identify like somebody with a Kapha constitution through reading their pulse. And then that tells you what kind of digestive system they have. And then also through like their skin. And so like Kapha people will have like thicker skin, thicker tissues. They might have thicker lips, bigger eyes, thicker hair, all different kinds of ways to like identify Kapha. Pitta people who are like have a more fiery digestion and a fiery nature tend to be might have narrower features, might have you know, like tend to be might naturally be like thinner and more like kind of sinewy or muscular. And then there's Vata people, which might tend to like have like bigger hips, but might be narrower on the top, or might have like, you know, smaller bones. And so like there's so many different factors to like how our bodies express themselves in the world. Like we are all such different expressions of God, right? It's like we're so diverse and different. And so like I encourage and invite everyone to also, like, while we're on this journey together, to like embrace who we are, like embrace where we're at in the journey and celebrate the benefits of all the different sizes that we might be along the way in life. And I myself have gone up and down on the scale. I know what it's like to feel like I can't lose weight. What is the problem? I struggled with like Hashimoto's for 9 years and struggled with like weight gain and couldn't figure it out. And then I've also had times where I felt like I was like, oh, I think I've like gone a little bit too underweight, like I overdid it, you know. And then we've got like eating disorders and all that stuff that also go along with this journey of weight. And so it's such a big conversation. People with eating disorders can also struggle with excess weight as well as struggle with not enough weight or feeling like they're underweight. And like, and so I want to really normalize and show that in this conversation, there's a variety. There's a variety of like how we can be healthy in the world. Such a huge variety of what we might look like and feel like in our bodies and be healthy. And that our journey and finding that normal balance is personal and it's safe here. I just want to say, like, this is a safe space, okay? Creating a safe space for everybody. And so that said, there can be some stories of people sharing, including myself. I just kind of shared my little story, which is I was sick for 9 years and struggled with weight gain and exhaustion, fatigue, bloating, feeling just like my digestion was off. I'm like, this isn't normal, that like my belly is like tight and it's out to here and it's like not matching the rest of my body. There's something going on. Like I just knew that there was something wrong with my digestion for years and years and years, in addition to like all the other places that I gained weight. And then I found this 90-day protocol, which helped me get my Hashimoto's in check and feel better in my body and lose 25 pounds very quickly. And other people I know who I helped I've had people lose 60 pounds in their first 30 days. I mean, it's like amazing what can happen. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to go into a little bit of detail, but what I'd love to do is start with inspiration, because we've got people here who've been on the journey. Some people are getting back on the journey. And I think, you know, I'd love to start with my sweet friend over here, Michelle, because her story she literally just recently did the 90-day protocol. That many of us who are health coaches have adopted this protocol in our practices. I've had other people who are health practitioners adopt the protocol in their practice. And so this is something that's been really amazing as a nutritionist to see so many people transform their health. And Michelle is one of them. Michelle was struggling. You were struggling with multiple sclerosis, and you were like, I don't know, 6 months in, a year in. I'm not sure how far you're in. How far are you in?
I start in August, the end of August.
Okay.
So
So you're
6 months,
coming up.
7 months.
Okay, 7 months. All right, awesome. And so you have a beautiful story of like transforming your health, but also of like losing quite a bit of weight. And could you share what your story is? Like, what has it been like for you on this protocol? What was it like before, and what is it like now?
Well, I've had multiple sclerosis since 1998. Um, and I have been through the ringer. Um, I was on 17 medications. Now I'm on only 3 medications. I was in it, I was always in pain, chronic pain. And I've been able to get off my narcotics.
Mm.
I've been able to get off my water pill, and I no longer have cankles. I've lost 40 pounds, and I'm able to walk. I was using my scooter, motorized wheelchair, and I couldn't walk past like noonish, and now I can walk all day. Um, I've been able to walk to my mailbox, and I go often to my mailbox to check my mail instead of using my scooter. Um, so that has been, I've lived in this house for 8 years, and that's new. I've just had a neighbor that hasn't seen me in probably 7 or 8 months. And she saw me walk into my mailbox, and she's like, oh my gosh. Because she had taken me to the hospital once from an accident that I had on my scooter. And then I'm walking, and she's like, and you've lost so much weight, and you're walking. She was just surprised.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that must have been exciting for her to see that transformation and like see you doing so much better.
yeah. So I'm like, well, you have to come see me now, because I'm going to tell you about this superfood that I'm taking and what has helped me. So,
Awesome. That's great. And we are going to talk about the superfood protocol. We will get to that after we hear some stories. So thank you for sharing, Michelle. I'm so happy. Like everything, just every single time I talk to you, there's a new development, something good that's happened. Yeah.
thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Awesome. And then Christopher is a friend of mine from years ago, and you had an amazing transformation, Christopher. Like you lost 203 pounds in your first year, and you are actually a superstar on the team. So I would love for you to share your story, because you have inspired so many people and given people the hope and the sensation of like, wow, I can actually do this, So please share what it was like for you before, and then what it was like after that first year. Oh, sorry, honey, you're muted. I forgot to unmute you. There you
Is
go.
that better?
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, first off, it was like, I had a mutual friend of ours was reaching out to me, sending me this information, and I had some other friends that were involved, and acquaintances, and it was like my first thought was, I'm not interested in any of this, and and then somebody who was a little closer to me was sharing what their experience has been like with it, and I know the person intimately, and I know that they're honest and straightforward. So they talked me into coming to a presentation, and as luck would have it, right, it was when I got to meet Rachel, and the bonus, I got to meet Dave Sandoval, right?
Founder. Mhm.
Yeah, and that was it was like I heard all these stories, and I was listening. And then Dave Sandoval got up there and he talked about his experience in helping a person who was like 600 pounds, like lose his weight and get healthy again. And he went on and told me the full story, but I was amazed, right? I was like, oh man. And then as I tried the power shake because they had a big container full of it already made. So we just go over and fill up the glasses. And it was funny, right? Because like no one really shared anything. There was like these little cups, that little glass, like espresso cups that to try the power shake, right? And I had one, and then I had another one, and I was like looking around at everybody in the room, right? And I went over and had another one, which would be equal about like a regular shake, once you start the protocol. And I remember I went home that night, and my interest was really peaked. I went home that night, and my roommate had cooked a 3-course meal, and I really wasn't that hungry. And that was like my first experience with it, right? And I was like, and usually I just dive into that food, and I don't know, it's like I can't, like I could eat, but it was like I just didn't feel like, for the first time, like I felt like I wasn't craving the food, and that was off my first power shake, right? And that was without any of the other stuff. So I called up my friend Robert and I said, hey, I think I'm in on this. I think, and he invited me to another healthy happy hour, and I went there, and I had to get some affairs in order before I jumped in, but I jumped in. I was like 545 pounds when I started. And the truth is, I didn't get into it. And for me, there's like a mental aspect of this, a spiritual aspect that for me, that like it wasn't about losing the weight. I thought that would be great, but what got me more was that I could feel better,
Yeah.
right? I could feel better. I can like get healthier, and I thought, like, man, that's what I want to do.
Mm.
And it's kind of weird because like in my first 30 days, right? And at that time the protocol is the same, but it was a little different than what's laid out now. What's laid out now is a lot more catering to for success. Then it was a little earlier in the evolution, and so it was a little rough in the very beginning because I jumped right into the cleanse, and I really wasn't sure like if this was gonna take or not. My mind was going crazy, but man, like I was told that like it's gonna get better. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna feel better. Your digestion will be better. Everything's gonna get better. And I was like, okay, I'm hearing the talking, but when's it gonna happen? And about the 10-day mark, right? Like everything started morphing into like more energy, better sleep, better digestion, and I took pictures like they said beforehand, and then I think it was like in my first I lost like 30 pounds in my first 20 days. In the first 30 days I lost like 50 something. I don't remember exactly, but like 50 something pounds. Now the thing was, I really wasn't focusing on the weight. I was totally enjoying it. Like, wow, this is cool, right? And like my clothes started to fall off of me, and I was feeling good. Now the thing is, what
Uh-oh, you got muted. Hold on a second, your mute button. Hold on, you're still muted.
can you hear me?
Okay, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Incoming phone call. I have to do this on my cell phone. So, um, what happened like in the first 10 days, right? I had an existing heart condition that I didn't know about. It was an undiagnosed heart condition. My heart was enlarged. I was in heart failure. I had just started this thing, and I barely came out of the cleanse. I had taken x-rays for my lungs prior to starting this protocol, and a doctor saw something while looking at my lungs, and they noticed that my heart was oversized, and I got a call on my way to a wedding reception that I need to go to the emergency room right away, right? And I'm all like, am I going to die or what? What's going on? And they said, well, we hope not. Just need to get to emergency room, right? So I was like, being a knucklehead like I am, I went to the wedding anyway, and then went to the emergency room afterward. And they had me booked into a room and like instantly, and like uh you know it was kind of scary because I really wasn't sure if I was going to make it out of there by the way that they were acting, right? I mean, like I don't have like platinum insurance, so therefore the way that they were treating me said there was an urgency and importance in this, right? And so like I had the superfood protocol brought from my house down to the hospital, um, and uh, and the hospital catered pretty much within reason to my like what I needed as far as like my eating with green. They would bring me broccoli and cauliflower and salad and stuff like that. Any type of vegetables that I needed. I had them like leave out like all the yogurts that they would try to bring, and all the juices that weren't organic or 100% juice and stuff like that. I have left all the dairy out,
Nice.
but like so I stayed there and for like a week, and I got out of the hospital like on 7 medications.
Wow.
And I went to the cardiologist and I told him what I was doing, and that I had some faith in what the changes that were already happening. And like within within 45, 50 days of being on the protocol, like I was down to 5 medications, and then I was down to 3 medications, and then I was down to no medications.
Wow.
Right? My heart had went back down to normal size. I went from being an AFib uh, out of it into normal heart rhythm.
Nice.
To this day, I still see my cardiologist once a year, and like even after I did the program for almost 2 years, and I went astray from the protocol. Like my heart still stayed strong. I mean, so this stuff saved my life. I was an accident, a heart attack away from, not being on the planet anymore. So
Wow.
I stayed on the protocol. I followed it to the best of my ability. When I wanted something sweet, I ate some fruit. Watermelons, honeydews, some cantaloupe, things like that. Strawberries. I learned to rely on the berries and this stuff for anything that I might crave that was sweet. But the reality of the matter is that these super aminos, the clearing the way, right, with the biomedic, and putting these raw superfoods in my body, like cut down on the cravings big time. I had the night before I started the protocol, like it was like I was like, okay, I'm starting tomorrow, so this is the last I can have. Like it was going to be a bad thing or something. This is the last I can have. So my last meal prior to starting it was a 4-pack of Reese's peanut butter cups and several pieces of cheap pizza and a soda pop, right? And so when I started, I gave up the soda pop, I gave up sugar, I gave up meat, I gave up dairy, I gave up anything processed, and I slowly leaned on green foods along with the protocol. Um, Portion control. I learned how to eat less and what was good to feed my body with less and benefit like my liver, my kidneys, my organ, my brain, everything, my heart. And what happened was so I'm not taking up all the time because I could talk forever about this.
Oh, this is great. This is very helpful.
At the point where I think this is kind of important. It is for me. Is like 6 months into it, like I'm thinking like I can lose 200 pounds in a year. Like I'm thinking like, wow, this is going to be possible. So like at the 7th month mark, I was like focused on losing this weight so I can reach the 200-pound mark in a year. And I'm not doing it in a way that like I'm not depriving myself.
Yeah.
I'm not like now. And the other thing was before I'm going to say what I'm going to say about that was I ran into other people as I was introducing them to the program of the protocol. I would run into like the nutrition people that might be at like at fitness places, and like, oh no, that's unhealthy. Oh, this, that. Everybody had their opinion about my journey, right? And I was like, and it was then that I realized that the majority, and nothing against these people, because what they had done had been working for them, but the thing was, is it was like they were like still like they weren't up to the modern day levels of phytonutrients and like what raw nutrition can do and like how it can heal you, right? They thought like what I was doing was unhealthy. And I'm like, well, but I haven't felt this good since I was in my 20s, right? And I was almost 50 at that point, right? And it's like my heart was healed, like everything was working better. I had more strength. I was taking longer walks with my dog, all these things, right? And I'm like explaining it to the person, and some of the stuff I'm saying is like they'd be looking at me, and this happened with numerous people. They'd be looking at me like they didn't understand what I was talking about. And I've only been in the program for a little while, and they had been practicing nutrition and the in health for like years, right? So what I learned in that was this: 85% of the people that are out there that put off that they know about health don't really know everything about health. And when I was able to block all that stuff out and listen to the people that were helping me down this path that was working with evidence all over the place, I was able to transform my life.
Amazing.
When I came to that place where I focused solely on losing weight, the reality is I actually stopped losing weight. For whatever reason, when I went from the place of, and I think for me this is important, of feeling good and just focusing on the journey, the weight fell off. Right? I was told, be careful with oil. Right? I was told that like if you're going to use some oil, some tropical oil, don't use more than a spoonful. Right? Don't use a bunch, because this and a handful of other things will be things that will slow that process down. So I took it to heart. Like I learned how to actually, like if I was going to stir fry some vegetables, like how to do it in water with maybe like a half a spoon of of coconut oil or something.
Yeah.
I learned how to do these things and and use the spices to make it taste good. I thought, like, how am I going to stir fry vegetables in water? Comes out great. It takes a little practice to get used to how much water, not too much. And the thing is it's also learning when you do your cooking, not to cook all the nutrients out of the food you're making.
Yeah.
But the thing was, the reason why I said about when I focused on losing the weight, all of a sudden I stopped taking off the weight because I wasn't focused on feeling better anymore. I was like, and something shifted. And when I realized, I was like getting upset they're like, I haven't taken off any weight this week. And not a week went by that I wasn't dropping weight. And I was still doing it right. So there is a mental and spiritual aspect to this journey, right? And so I cut loose with that thought. And I said, I'm not going to think about the weight. I'll check in with my weight once a month. And this is like 7 months into it. And I'll see what it is. I'll mark it down and I'll just focus on feeling good. Right. And I hit 203 pounds loss in 1 year.
Amazing.
Right. I mean, like I went down, I was wearing 66 pant waist down to a 54 pant waist. Right. And those clothes were falling off of me. I went from wearing 8X down to wearing 4X loose. Not always like my clothes loose, but I could have wore 3X. When you see me in the picture, she's pointing up here. If everybody can see it, that picture on the left, right? If you look into my eyes, they're like, kind of like squinted there, but that face says, I'm about one bite away from dropping dead.
Mm.
That face on the right, in the purple top and the hat, says, I got a long life ahead of me and I feel good. And you look at the color in my eyes, it's a huge difference.
Huge.
That's the difference between life and death right there.
So
yeah. And
so
I
you were
always,
545 pounds in the first picture. And so you were
yes,
down to like 340 in the second picture.
right around that area. Yeah.
Amazing. So incredible. It's such an inspiration. I mean, people who really want to lose like 100 pounds or more, like this is like, wow, I can really do that. Like you did that in 6 months.
Well, the thing is one of the other things I learned too was this. Once you get your foundation set into the protocol and the superfoods, with connection with other people, so that like you have your accountability, you learn what also like what outside foods that you can, like how much you can eat of what, right? So like I was focused on feeling good, and like, and if I got hungry, it's like I didn't have to starve. Like, but what happened is if I ate a little extra food, I had to eat healthy food. I had to eat healthy food. It was like in my mind, like I would say, oh, I can't eat this extra food. I got to stay on this protocol. But the thing is, sometimes that would bring it like me mentally would stress me out. And it was like, well, why not have some watermelon and cook up some broccoli and throw a little bit of garlic in there with it, and boom, a little extra is okay. It's not going to put any weight on me, but it's got to be something healthy. It's got to be something within the protocol, and sweets really wasn't a problem.
Let's talk about cravings. Let's go to the cravings part, because this is the big thing. And first of all, I want to say, I love that your focus was on feeling better and that weight loss was a byproduct, because it's really like, again, like the like how we feel in our bodies is really what is the most information that tells us whether we are actually like making big strides or not. Like how we feel inside our bodies is really the most important thing. So you said, that first day when you did that first shake, how you went home, your roommate was making a 3-course meal and you didn't even really even that hungry. So like sounds like you noticed right away that craving subsided. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, it was like I couldn't really even explain it after that first one, because I was like, I'd never really I never really experienced anything like that. But the thing is, I remember someone talking about like the power shake, what it had in it. Um, it would feed the body things that we're not used to having.
Nutrients,
And
nutrition.
nutrients, yeah, nutrients, phytonutrients that we're not used to having, that basically would like go through our liver, feed our body, our mind, our organs, and let them get what they so desperately need. And once your body's getting some of that stuff, the cravings aren't as strong. You're not as hungry. You're not, because a big part of those cravings is mental,
Yeah.
right? But the signals get sent from your liver, from your other organs in your body. They're like, hey, something's missing, right? So here, I need to stuff my face with all this stuff, right? I need to do this and take that. Oh, I want some more of that. And the thing is, it's never getting what it wants,
Yeah.
right? But when you're putting something like Power Shake or or Super Meal Love Shake in your body,
Your mouth becomes alkaline. When your body becomes alkaline, your mouth becomes alkaline, and then you crave alkaline foods. So you noticed right away that you just were not. Because was that something that you struggled with before? Was cravings like a thing that you were like concerned about?
well, see, I'm an addict, right? I'm a recovering addict, and so and my addiction shows up in everything, right? Because I'm more of a, I love the taste than I love the amount of food. But if I like something in the way it tastes, I don't want that taste to ever leave. So I will eat and eat and eat and eat. And I never ever would feel, if I was eating junk, I never felt like I was ever getting anything. I love the taste, so that's why I kept it up. But I was like, I would eat more of it because, and the reason why I was able to eat more of it, my body was never signaled that it got what it needed.
That's right, because your body never got the nutrients. So when we don't get our nutrients, our bodies will keep eating, looking for nutrients. That's why a lot of people will overeat. So that concept of overeating comes from the body feeling unfulfilled. And we are unfulfilled when we don't have proper nutrition. And so we'll eat it, might go to, a fast food restaurant, which was just empty of nutrition, but we'll eat a lot of food because it's not feeding our actual needs. And so you totally hit the nail on the head. So when you actually get your needs met, you'll be able to stop eating because you're like, okay, I feel full, I feel complete. So
the other thing too is the I never realized until I started the protocol and met everybody that was involved with it how many toxins were in bad food.
Yeah.
Like beside the fact that I'm an animal lover, besides that fact, the fact of the matter, and it doesn't really matter if the rapper says, free range or this or that or no hormones used. Everything has toxins, right? Through this protocol, we're getting the least amount of toxins that we can. The stuff is grown far away from any gross pollution. We have a proven method to remove glyphosate and pesticides and different things out of our bodies. And the thing is those toxins, even if we're just eating like healthy foods from the store and not on the protocol, right? It's like I was told, just eating healthy isn't enough, right? Because we have to remove that stuff out there. And this protocol helps us clean that stuff out, along with packing those raw nutrients into our body. And that's what the big part of it is, because those toxins stop our liver from working right, stop our kidneys from working right, fog the brain up. And the reality of it is I'm not sure who all have seen the video, but it says it's in everything, right? The toxins are in everything, and that's why I'm choose not to eat the meat. That's why I choose not to do the dairy, and that's just aside from the fact that I happen to love all animals today, right? And the fact of the matter is there's even a lot of our vegetables, if we're not eating organic, um, it's like it's going to have pesticides on it. It's going to have hormones, GMOs, all kinds of stuff, and even our organic stuff, it's still going to have a little bit in it, right? But the thing is we can limit that, and if we have our protocol, we don't have to uh, uh, solely rely on what's available to us out there. we have, you can live off the power shake. I mean, you can live off of it, but we need to have something else solid going in. So that's why we eat other foods, because that goes hand in hand with losing that weight.
Yeah. Beautiful. You are so knowledgeable, Chris. I'm just realizing how much you absorbed in that time that you've been on this transformation and like, you know, on your path, how much you've been like, you've like come to many healthy happy hours. You've been on many Zooms. You've absorbed a lot of the information. And so you actually like basically said everything I needed to say today. And so you're good. Like that was so awesome. I'm like,
I'm
man,
a little rusty. I'm a little rusty.
you get
So
to teach, man, like teach it and preach it. You got this. You so got this. And I'm so excited for you. You just said in the last, I think month or so that you went down another 4 pant sizes or 4 rings on your belt, right?
yep. I had my belt because I during COVID, I stepped away from the protocol. It was you know, and basically I kind of went down a rabbit hole, um, and man, everything started to decline. Like, you know, my weight started coming back on, um, and my belt wasn't fitting me anymore, and now I'm like on the fourth or fifth rung on my belt, and my clothes are getting loose, and my skin is better. I mean, it's like, and I'm only like 66, 67 days back into doing the protocol and eating clean, you know, and it feels good. I mean, and I like to say, like at one point I was all biomedic is the most important thing out of the whole thing, right? And then another time I'm like, super aminos 23 is the most important thing out of the whole program. Then I'm all, but wait a minute, no, the power shake's the most important thing. But the reality of it is they all go hand in hand, and they're all important because they work best together, right? Everything works best together. There is no such thing as one holy grail item, right? And when you combine them, it's like no matter what, you're gonna win. You're gonna win.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm actually going to show a couple more pictures while we're here just for inspiration because, you know, I have lots of different friends who've done this protocol, have had like major weight change. And so I'm going to show a few of them. This is Tall, who lost 80 pounds. This is her like in a year, just totally transformed her health. And not only that, she got so much energy, her energy came back, she got off of a lot of her medications and she started feeling so amazing. She actually began to work out and she bought a gym and now she is a gym owner. So she went from like interior designer on the left,
Nice.
on many medications, to now on the right, she's a bodybuilder and it's like basically owning a gym and has a whole different lifestyle. So, you know, there's a lot of different, let's see, let me find another one here. It's also great for skin and stuff. This is my friend Anne. So she lost 60 pounds and everyone reports the same thing, that this is easier than they realize. It's so much easier because the cravings go away. I think that's one of the most important things to realize is that when you add the good nutrients in, your cravings disappear and that you're not fighting yourself. You're not like trying to force yourself to do something that feels uncomfortable, that you're like, oh, I can't eat that thing. You literally just stop wanting it. So I say, put the nutrients in, let your body naturally decide to take things out and you'll be surprised at what can happen. So yeah, I mean, like so many people on the team. Here's another person who like in a year, like
Glowing.
again, glowing face. I mean, look at the beautiful color in her face. I mean, she just looks alive. She looks excited. You know, you just like feel the energy, like just the shift and you know, and like in her you know, her in her whole like attitude and disposition and self-confidence. It's just like she's radiating here. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that people can experience changes with, sleep, weight, inflammation, pain, energy, digestion, as well as emotion, skin. I mean, the list goes on and on. So this is one of the things that we call it swiped. These are the things you can swipe the slate clean with this protocol. So due to time, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys the protocol so you can see what is it that Christopher did, what is it that everyone's doing that is actually transforming their health. And here we go. I'm going to go ahead and like unspotlight you, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing your incredibly inspiring story. And let's go to check out the superfoods. This is called the ultimate lifestyle transformation because we're literally transforming our lifestyle. And it begins with like conquering those cravings. It begins with just creating new habits. And those things come easily because we just say, put the good stuff in, and then you'll notice the bad stuff falls away. And I didn't talk about people who are struggling with weight loss. Like some people are struggling with being underweight. And so I'll talk about that after this. But the one little bit I'll say here now is that the reason why people who are struggling with excess weight and being underweight are the same is because they're both struggling with a sluggish liver. The liver needs to be cleaned in order for weight to start to come off easily, because you have to clean out the sludge, the toxins, the things that are taking up space in the liver, in order for your body to your body functions to work properly. So if you have a clogged liver, which this is actually how we're going to cleanse liver, this is a liver cleanse. I recommend the ULT Plus Immune. This is a pack, the 90-day protocol that I suggest. This is only 30 days right here. So you order 30 days at a time. It's shipped to you automatically monthly your first 3 months. And then it shifts to the maintenance pack, which I've been on for 10 years. And none of my symptoms have come back, and I've kept the weight off. So this is a 30-day protocol. And so people who are struggling with like being underweight, their issue is also a sluggish liver. And so those toxins get overloaded and they end up with like a viral infection in their adrenals. And so that their adrenals are just like putting out constant adrenaline, which is just like burning things up, right? Burning up energy. And so adrenaline, what it does is it breaks down fat molecules. So it actually like goes in and breaks things apart, but it also can cause exhaustion. That's when people do keto diets, they end up feeling exhausted. They end up feeling inflamed after a number of years. They like end up on the opposite side of the spectrum where it doesn't work for them anymore. They've been using their adrenaline's been pumping for so many years that now they like suddenly get sick and they get inflamed, and then they gain not only the weight they had back, but it usually goes in excess, and they end up gaining a lot more back than they had lost to begin with. So it ends up becoming a struggle. But people who are struggling with being underweight, again, they have like a viral infection in their adrenal glands, and then their adrenal glands are just like pumping out adrenaline, which is the stress hormone. It's like their bodies are like, we need fight or flight, we need energy. And so then it goes in there and it breaks the adrenaline, it breaks up those fat molecules and turns it into sugar, because our body actually needs sugar. Our body's looking for carbohydrates, sugars, to turn into glycogen, and glycogen is the fundamental energy source for everything. That is what, how our body makes ATP, which is, athletes who are working out all the time, you gotta like have enough ATP every minute. Your body's creating more ATP so that you can actually run, so that you can actually lift weights, so that you can actually move your body. So every single function in the body requires sugar from fruits, sugar from vegetables. It breaks all this down. Everything, even meat, when people eat meat, that it's broken down into sugar. It's broken down into all the fat molecules are broken down into sugar, but it requires adrenaline in order to break it into sugar. So that's why when people eat a lot of meat, they feel energy, because it's actually the adrenaline which can deplete their adrenals and cause exhaustion in the long run. So hopefully I'm not like saying too much and getting you guys all overloaded with information, but let's just look at this. What is in this protocol? Okay. So the power shake, you get to choose. You get 4 different shakes you can choose. Power shake is one of them. Whoever invited you can, help you choose your shakes. Plus they'll give you a 25% off discount code so that you can get, over $100 off on these products. So long story short, you got your greens, you got your fruit, and you got your protein. Okay. So your apothecary juice is your fruit. Super aminos is your protein. This is plant-based protein. Then you've got your biomedic, which is your probiotic. You've got your super cleanser herbs, which clean out your colon and make you absorb more nutrients. Therefore, you have less cravings. Therefore, you're able to detox better, and then you're able to lose the weight. A lot of people, when they lose as much weight as like Chris did in his first month, 30 pounds, it's because you're actually losing toxins, because all those toxins accumulate in the lymph. And so your body needs to your liver needs to detox so that your lymph can now let go of all that excess fluid, all the toxins that are stored in there. So a lot of our weight gain is toxins that have been accumulated in our lymphatic system, which there's a lot of lymph nodes in our belly. So a lot of times it'll accumulate around there. So if you urinate a lot, that's why. You're peeing out your toxins, okay? You poop a lot, you're pooping out your toxins, okay? Everything's just cleaning it all out. So super cleanser herbs cleans out your colon so you can absorb more nutrients. The biomedic grows back the villi so you can absorb more nutrients. You absorb your nutrients through your small intestines. And then you've got your zinc aid. And so your zinc aid is your vitamin zinc vitamin. Most people are deficient in zinc and D. It also has vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E. So this is really great, especially during flu season, to help keep your immune system strong. This is a powerful, powerful remedy. Same with apothecary juice. These things are like a must-have, especially if you're afraid of being exposed to flu or COVID or something like that. This is going to help your body fight and help your body stay clean. So the plant-based protein is just amazing for energy. This helps your body build muscle. The Power Shake has gamma oryzanol in it, which helps your body turn fat into muscle. So all these things are helpful together for burning fat and losing weight. And it's also help if you're somebody underweight, because it's going to help clean out the toxins so that your body can start functioning better. So you're not putting out all this extra cortisol. So your body's finally functioning clearly, and then you can actually start to gain weight. So really what this does is it helps with homeostasis. It helps with your body to balance weight. You get to become more in alignment with your natural healthy weight. And that's what it's going to do for you. It also comes with this blender, this beautiful blender, which is really fun to have on hand. So you can add fruit into it if you want. You can add a banana if you want to just enjoy a smoothie. You can do that really quickly on the fly. This is only $13 a day. Okay. So $13 a day, most people spend that on a meal. All right. This is going to give you 2 meals in a day, plus all of your supplements. You're going to get your cherry juice, your super aminos twice a day, your cherry juice twice a day, your biomedic once or twice a day, depending on what you want to do, your super cleanser herbs twice a day, and your zinc aid you'll do once a day. But you'll be able to take these shakes twice a day. Okay. So this is only $13 a day. So that's $6.50 twice a day, just to have the most amazing meal, most amazing nutrients. And you get to eat fruits and vegetables, and you also get to have a clean and green dinner. You can make sweet potato with vegetables. You have avocado. You can have all different kinds of spices and onions and garlic. You can eat all this healthy, delicious food while you're on this protocol. It is not a fast. All right. You get to enjoy food. And we've got some cooking shows for you that I did that will help give you some ideas about how to create different tastes from around the world and enjoy the protocol and enjoy cooking at least, 1 meal a day. But like Chris said, you're not going to be hungry because your body's getting satisfied with nutrients. So it's pretty surprising how little you need. If you're trying to gain weight, then we say have a meal after each shake. So every time you have a shake, you also have a meal. So instead of just doing 1 meal a day, you just want to get 3 meals in, because we're giving you more fuel. All right. So what does that translate to? So the retail value is $530. But you're going to get $133 off from whoever invited you. So it's $397. Again, that's $13 a day. This is 60 of your 90 meals. So I want you to just imagine you're swapping out your groceries. Okay. So this is your groceries for the month. It's going to save you a lot of money on groceries. For me, it saved about $300 on groceries. One of Diana's friends saved $400, was able to buy herself a couch at the end of the month. Was like, holy cow, I had enough money left over. I could buy a couch. Imagine that. I had extra money. So this is a great way to save money for most people. You're going to click get started today. And then when you open up the second page here, you can customize it. You can change out the shake. So underneath month 1, it says, would you like to customize this? Click that. And then you can change out. So I recommend the first one, change out to super cleanser herbs. And then I would just leave the shake 1 and shake 2 for power shake appleberry. And then if you want to try the super meal, change it to super meal vanilla chai on line 4. And then shake 3, super meal, and then shake 4, also super meal, but maybe try original. That way you can try a variety and just taste them all. Okay, so leave the first 2 and do that the second month too. Now notice that the price goes down the second month. So when you customize the shakes, it ends up being $408.75. The second month it's $378, and the third month is $378, and then the fourth month you go down to the maintenance pack, which I've been on this for the last 10 years. I've actually been back and forth between that one and this one. I do this one a lot too. But this is like amazing. Again, change out one of those shakes and then keep the other. And you can stay on this maintenance for as long as you want. There's a money back guarantee, 60-day money back guarantee. You can quit at any time. You can just try it out for the first month and then decide whether you want to continue. You can quit at any time, but it is set up to automatically ship to you every month, and just you don't even have to think about it, and you don't have to do much grocery shopping. It's going to save you time at the store as well. So if you don't like to grocery shop, this will help you. Just click add to cart. So that's it in terms of like how to do this as a product. And if you're someone who maybe you might want to have like some friends do it with you, you can get a kickback. We offer $30 out of our pockets to thank you for sharing this with other people. Or if you can see yourself sharing this with a lot of people, you can become a brand partner. There's like $3,000 in bonuses in your first 4 months. If you want to share them with other people, we can teach you how. We've got a team, we've got a business plan, and we train you in everything. I even have a school called Alchemy Health and Business School, which can teach you about how to do this if you wanted to do this as on the side, or if you're like me, you do it full time. We totally welcome new coaches. We're always looking for more people to spread the word, because it's obviously very good and something useful for people as well as helpful for the planet. Sustainable packaging, no plastics, just organic bamboo and hemp. So good for you, good for the world. So that said, my cat and I are going to let everyone go. But if you'd like to stay and ask questions, feel free. I'm going to stop the recording. And thank you so much, Chris, for sharing everything. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing your story and on your journey. And we look forward to seeing you guys again. Every week we have a different topic, so join us anytime. All right, have a nice day, everybody.
Rachel.
You're welcome. Take care.